Mondays with the Mako. We are back wrapping up the interview series. I'm excited to bring Gareth Everson back into the mix, and we've remastered his content a bit. Gareth, thank you, brother, for being with me again, and thank you for starting this whole journey for me. A few months back when we did your interview on burning the boats, very quality 26-minute piece. We're going to tighten that up today. Brother, thanks for being with me, and thanks for spending your Mondays with the Mako.
You're very welcome, my friend. Very welcome.
Excellent. Let's get right into it because you have a bit of content here, and we've remastered this. So let's see if we can keep it to 12, 13 minutes. Gareth, we all know about Cortez and burning the boats. And if we don't, I'm going to put a little bit of content into this week for us to catch up to that. But what does that mean to you specifically, burning the boats?
Well, burning the boats, the Cortez story is really famous, and you can probably link up in the notes the Andy Andrews burn the boats story. That's the best example I've seen of it. But for me, burning the boats it forms part of three key philosophies. Last year, when things were a little bit tough, I wasn't hitting the business goals that I wanted to, and I wanted to get focused on growing the business. I started reading Eric Ries's Lean Startup. And he has these three key philosophies, right? Think big, start small, scale fast. And burn the boats fits into that. Thinking big is all about what's your big vision. So for me, it's about building up a business with 1,000 customers, all using Infusionsoft and making great strides at growing their business. I also want to build the business so that it's returning around about $300,000 per year profit, but also allowing me to take 10 weeks off a year to spend with my family. Start small, so we think big, then we start small. Burn the boats comes into that. So if you imagine what Cortez did with his troops off of the Yucatan Peninsula, he was all about how do we get focused, how do we move towards our true goal. So for me, burn the boats falls into that. The other part of starting small is how do I focus on my unique abilities within my business. And then we talk about scaling fast. So Eric Ries talks about in order to be a strong lean startup, you take what you do well in a small level and then scale fast. So for me, this will come down the line, maybe next year or so. I want to escape that whole E-Myth piece, and I want to focus on the 20% of the 80-20, so that the business is built around building on that strong platform, but going forward in a way that's profitable and successful. That's where burn the boats falls into that mix.
Terrific. Gee, the big three there. I love that. Tell me a little bit about how you got to the big three. What spawned that energy? What caused you to go, look, I need to burn the boats?
Last year was tough. It was successful, but it was tough. I was working too hard, probably making health compromises in terms of people that follow you will probably have had those times where they're working 16-hour days, 5-6 days a week, but it wasn't producing the returns that I was looking for. So as well as having those sort of health compromises or missing time with my family, especially at crucial points of the year, I still wasn't making the returns that I wanted to within the business. But at the same time, I was seeing others making it. You were doing really successfully within your role, and also within the Infusionsoft partner community. You've interviewed a couple of guys within that community. David Holland's a great mentor to me. Alistair McWilliam, they're both doing great things with their businesses. So I was seeing others having success, but I was getting frustrated that something was missing. I was serving too many people and spreading myself too thinly, and so that's where burn the boats came from. And as a result of having that really tough talk with myself, that self-talk, and working out what I needed to do, burn the boats just became a phrase that I continue to use as part of that big picture, that starting small. What did I need to do to scale back so that then I could build from a stronger position?
Awesome, Gareth. Awesome. Tell me a little bit about how you started that process. You don't just start burning the boats. What was your, tell me a little bit about how you started that process. Give that to me in a little bit more of a 30,000-foot overview.
I was, well, the way that the business was structured, I was working with anywhere from 5 to 10 one-to-one clients at any one time. And each of those clients was taking a piece of me, taking a piece of my energy, taking a piece of my my capacity to be able to do anything, and they were benefiting as businesses. I was, to a certain degree, I was earning good money for the individual contracts that I was on with them, but it wasn't building me a structure in a business that I could scale from. I was selling myself and my time, and selling out my calendar, if you like, but ultimately it wasn't building me a platform that I could scale from. And so I took the decision to scale back almost all of my one-to-one clients. In fact, today I only have one-to-one client that I work with on a recurring basis. And that freed up a lot of the time and a lot of the headspace to be able to do and plan other things. And this process, it takes a long time. People talk about small businesses being agile and being able to respond to different things. But I don't buy into that. I think that small businesses are hung up in their own processes and their own and their own structures and the way that they do things. And I actually compare it more to a big oil tanker. It's harder to get out of those routines, those mindsets, those things that hold you back. You need to be really strict, really rigid with what are your goals and how can you move towards them. And that's where Burn the Boats came from.
When you defined that and when you created that and you moved through that, what were some of the results, G, when you saw that you saw from burning the boats?
Well, first thing, right? So I had fewer one-to-one clients. I had fewer people that felt that they could phone me any hour of the day or send me, that classic email that is quick question. It always starts with quick question. It always ends up being a long answer. It's a quick question for them, but it's a long answer. So fewer one-to-one clients gave me more headspace, more ability to be able to go and do the things that were going to grow the business, the better platform, the better foundations. One of the other key results is, I mentioned family. Family is the most important thing to me. Business second, family first. I was able to take 3 weeks holiday this summer with the family without missing a step at work. We're planning a 5-week trip next year. That is something that we couldn't have done were the business to be purely around those one-to-one relationships. The other thing that I've done in terms of stepping out of that mindset of just wondering where that next one-to-one contract was coming from and thinking in more of an abundant sort of mindset and bringing in referral relationships, I've brought in around about 6 to 8 great referrers into the business who like the way that I'm structuring the model of delivering, like the way that I'm integrating their clients' processes with my processes so that they get great results through working with me. But also I'm able to focus on, by stepping out of those individual, unique one-to-one challenges that a business might face that are completely customized for that one business. I'm able to think about those processes and those ways of doing things that work across lots of different clients. And so by being able to work out what works for many, every single one of those gets extra value. So it becomes a win-win. They get extra value. They do more with their Infusionsoft implementations or their add-on implementations, more for their business, get more out of it. But as a result of them getting more from what we implement, I take more by way of revenues and growth. So there's a better structure. There's win-win for clients and for referral partners and for me. And it's all come from freeing up that capacity, that headspace, that time by doing what we call the burning the boats.
You've really come from a place of abundance recently with this, and a lot of that is because of the burning the boats concept. Now you're living in that abundance and teaching that and bringing that to community. That's terrific. Last question, and I want to let you go. I know you got the England match coming up, and you're going to be watching that with Jack. But tell me any advice for people that actually need to burn the boats, maybe in a business level and in a personal sense as well. Quick advice for somebody that needs to burn the boats.
Yeah, two really strong recommendations that I'd make. The first thing, it starts with the right mindset. What do you vision your life being like when you make that change, when you make that transition? So being able to vision what your business or what your life's going to look like down the line. It might be 6 months, it might be 12 months down the line, but have that vision in your mind. Write it down. Have it everywhere that you look, at your desk, at home, on your fridge or whatnot. Just put some sort of words down that describe what that vision is. Then work out what you need to do to get you to there. Are they mini steps? Are they big steps? Are they big changes that you need to make? Are they small changes? But make a commitment to yourself to do something, at least one small step every single day to get you towards that goal and that vision. So that's all around the mindset. And then the other key thing, and this is something that I've worked a lot on this year, is to get into a mastermind. Start working with people that want to do the same things. For me, I went out there and I had a look at lots of different masterminds that I could be part of, but ultimately I decided to set my own up. And some of those referral partners and some close clients of mine came into a mastermind setup that I started running earlier this year. And we work together to help one another to achieve those goals and those visions that we have in our personal and business lives. So the two key recommendations: get the mindset right and move towards that on a daily basis, and join a mastermind of like-minded people that want to do the same thing.
Amazing, Gareth. Well, I've got my shades on. You know what that time is. It's time to get going. Brother, great insights. Think big, start small, scale, come from a place of abundance, and cut the fat out, you guys. Burn the boats if we need to. Gareth, brother, can't wait to see you and spend time working on these concepts and catching that soccer match.
Yeah, looking forward to having you out here, mate.
Yeah, thank you, G. Have a great night with the fam. Enjoy the match. Thank you, brother.
Will do, mate. Take care.
All right, bless you, G.
Cheers.